Hi, welcome to EduApply Podcast, where we discuss everything related to studying abroad and building brighter futures. I'm your host for today, and with me is Mr. Asghar Aftab Khan, the CEO of EduApply.com. EduApply is a software for admissions which helps students in easing their application processes. So today we are going to talk about how this software provides applicants with the opportunities to get into their desired institutions and with ease. We are also going to discuss what the future of global education looks like. So let's welcome our guest for today. Thank you, Mr. Asghar, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So my first question to you is, how did you come up with the idea of EduApply? Like, how did this start?
The history of EduApply.com, it dates back to around 14 years. I've been in international recruitment business for the last 14 years. I started working with University of Debrecen as country head for Pakistan, and our regional office was best performing out of 140 regional offices that University of Debrecen was recruiting from. It bears mention that University of Debrecen is the largest public university in Central Europe with more than 30,000 students. So because of this best performance, my sphere of activity and area of responsibility was extended to entire South Asia and Middle East. So when we were recruiting from this entire region, we were recruiting more than 500 students every year. And dealing with more than 500 students would mean more than 500 students who are being registered at the university. That would mean that you would probably have a conversion rate of 20%, which means that you have dealt with around 2,000 to 2,500 students. Now, because of this huge influx and increase in the number of students, we wanted to offer many different opportunities to the students, and that's where EduApply came in. Now in EduApply right now, we have got 100 plus international universities. 72 universities are already available on our platform, and the onboarding process of rest of the universities is going on. So the main reason for starting EduApply was to offer more and more opportunities and options to the students who are looking to study in various European universities. So yeah, this was the main reason and main history of starting this EdTech platform.
This sounds great. So can you please tell me what problems are you solving for agents, for students and universities through EduApply?
Okay, if you are looking at international recruitment landscape, you would discover that information about universities in general and about European universities in particular is very fragmented. So if somebody wants to get information, they don't know about the entrance criteria, they don't know about the application processes of the universities, and they have to do research on multiple various different sites, and the information is not very reliable. So EduApply is trying to address this very issue. It is trying to provide coherent information to students, agents, and trying to help universities in the internationalization goals. Now more and more universities inside Europe, they are moving towards internationalization, which means that they want to offer more programs in English language, English medium of instruction, and then they want to have a greater outreach to different markets in the world as well. So we are helping universities in their outreach and internationalization efforts, and we are trying to provide coherent information regarding admission process, regarding eligibility checks, and regarding, like we have got recommendation features upcoming in our portal as well. So the main idea is that we are going to remove the fragments in the international education landscape, and we are going to provide very coherent information to students and agents so that their admission process and their selection process of the universities could be seamless.
So there are many big names that we see in admissions platforms. How is EduApply different from all of them?
Okay, if you look at all the big names in the industry in EdTech platforms, you discover that almost all of them are focusing on English-speaking countries. There are many different reasons for that. English-speaking universities, they started their internationalization programs much earlier, around 30, 40 years earlier than European universities. So if you look at all the major platforms, I do not want to name them, but they are focusing on English speaking countries like Australia, New Zealand, UK, apart from that, Canada and USA. So none of the big platform is focusing on European countries. So this is the first AI-based platform that is focusing on European countries. Although we are going to provide information and we are going to include universities from other countries as well, but the main focus on our portal is going to be on European institutions. That's why almost 90% of the universities in our portal are based in European geographical area.
What is your long-term vision for EduApply? Like, how do you see this software in a tenure of 5 or 10 years, probably?
How do we see EduApply in the next 5 or 10 years? It's an interesting question. The main idea is that we have got some short-term goals for this portal, and we have got a long-term goals as well. The short-term goals is obviously adding more and more AI features. Next 1 year is going to be AI for our portal, and it's going to be a portal that would be truly providing you with multiple AI features as well. And the long-term goal is that we want to create a complete ecosystem, not just a study portal which gives you comparisons of different universities. It would be a portal which would be providing students with recommendations features. They create their profile. The system tells them whether they are eligible or not. Apart from that, they would be able to submit applications to the universities where they are eligible to apply. Okay, so the success rate is going to be very higher in that particular case. And apart from that, we are going to integrate fintech into edtech. This is the long-term goal as well. So we are going to assist students in processing all their all their payments regarding tuition fees, registration fees, application fees, in a very transparent manner. So this is the long term. The long-term plan is to combine the edtech features and the fintech features and create a portal that is a complete ecosystem.
That is like really interesting. I believe AI is great in everything now. These days, everything has AI. So it's nice to know that you are putting it together with the educational admissions processes. And I'm curious to see, how this is going to help the students, right? So you talked about European countries, right? What do you think, if you would like to recommend, which countries are the top candidates for the students to go in right now?
Well, inside Europe, if you consider England part of Europe, because when you speak to most English people, they think England is not part of Europe, not part of European Union, but as it is part of European geographical area. So the topmost destination remains UK. That is followed by France. France is picking up fast. Apart from that, Germany has, in the last 5 years, has more than doubled the number of international students. And Sweden, Finland, and Ireland, they're working very hard on their internationalization goals. And they are coming up very fast. So these are the countries of main focus inside Europe.
What do you think are some bigger mistakes that the students make while choosing their destination for studying abroad?
Okay, I think there are many different things that students can focus on, but one of the mistakes that I've been seeing whenever I've been speaking to students is when they're choosing a university, they're focusing only on one thing. If they're coming from high-ranking schools, if they are coming from elite kind of a school, so most of them would be looking only at the ranking of the university. And I think there is something which is more important than ranking, that is employability. When I look at the high-ranking universities and their students graduating, most of them are unable to get qualified jobs. But when I'll give you example of University of Debrecen. University of Debrecen is ranked as 560 in the world right now, but the employability of the university is more than 90% within first 6 months. Wow. Okay, if you compare it with a top 100 university inside UK, okay, you won't find this kind of employability. So I think when you're choosing the university, instead of looking at the research ranking, because when most people are looking at the rankings, they're looking at the research rankings. Now, what happens in research rankings? The most important thing in research ranking is cross citations, okay? And cross citation, obviously, of a British university, of American university, is going to be much higher compared to a university inside Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, or Central Europe, because the story of the history of internationalization inside Europe, it started in 1990s. Okay, so it has been hardly 20-25 years since those people are publishing their researches in English language. So their cross citation is going to be very limited compared to a British university, compared to American university, and compared to Canadian university. But when we look at the employability, employability would be more than 90% in most European universities, public universities, within first 6 months. So I think this is what students should be looking at when they're choosing a university.
I think that is a very important point. So I believe many students make a lot of mistakes while applying for abroad in any universities, right? So what would you recommend? What is the right time, or how early should one start preparing their applications?
Okay, a very good question, especially in the South Asian context, because most students, when they're applying for admissions, they would be looking at deadlines. When I was working as a student counselor, or most of my colleagues are now working as student counselors dealing with applications, they report this one question from the students: what is deadline for admissions? Okay, they want to wait till the last date, and then they want to submit their applications just 1 or 2 days before the deadline. The best time for starting applications would be, most European universities, they only have September intake. Okay, for postgraduate programs, they would have master's intake as well. So for September intake, say in 2026, they should be starting their admission process in September, October 2025. So the process should be started at least 1 year before, or at least 10 months before the actual start of the classes. Now, this is also very important to start it early, not just because you would have greater chances of success, because when you're nearing the deadline, most of the seats are filled up as well. Okay, so the early you apply, you have greater chances of getting accepted inside the university. So the early you apply, the better it is.
So a lot of students get their applications either rejected or they do not get any response. So what are the common mistakes for these applications that they get delayed or rejected? Because students, they do not know. Would you mind please telling our students?
Yes, the main reason of rejection is that students apply to various institutions without looking at their eligibility criteria. And this is somewhere EduApply is going to help you as well. We have included entry requirements of all the partner universities at the back end of our system. And if a student just creates their profile, the system can tell them whether they're eligible or not. And they won't be wasting their time and money on making these applications. So the main reason is, the first reason is obviously students are applying without looking at the eligibility criteria. If you only apply to the universities where you meet the eligibility criteria, you are going to have a greater chance of success. And second is late application as well. So even if you are meeting the eligibility criteria, seats are always limited inside institutions. So if you are making an early application, you would have a greater chance of getting accepted.
So can students with average grades also seek those higher opportunities? Because I think even in my time, and I still currently, there is a notion that for you to even consider applying abroad, right, you must have significantly higher grades. You cannot just even consider it if you have lower grades. So what is your take on that?
Okay, it's a very important question. If you're applying to any big country, European country, or high-ranking institution, or even mid-level institutions, they would ask for very high grades. Students are advised not to apply for admission in Germany if their GPA is less than 3.2.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah. So in that case, obviously, you cannot apply to institutions, big institutions in these big countries, or high-ranking institutions as they are being described. But there is a a way out for those whose grades were not very good. They can apply to different institutions in dual degree programs. For example, we have got Universum International College, which is based in Kosovo. A student with 50% grades could be accepted in that institution, and after 1 year they can transfer to a German institution.
Okay, that's nice.
So yes, through dual degree programs, and apart from that, they've got dual degree arrangements in Finland, in Ireland, in UK, and in Lithuania as well. So there is a way around this issue if you have not been working very hard and you intend to work very hard in the future. So you can apply to one of our dual degree programs, and that's how you can then transfer to either UK or to a good ranking institution in UK or Germany or Finland.
Okay. Can you identify one requirement that students miss or overlook during their application process?
One requirement that students miss during their application process, I think the most important would be the financial requirement. Most students, they apply to institutions, they don't realize that apart from the tuition fee, there are other allied expenses as well. And they should plan in advance, and they should plan for their finances well in advance. So this is something that most students overlook.
Yes, I think that is important because finances do matter in these cases. So how does September and February intake affect the decision making of the students? Does it have any effect at all?
Okay, in European context, most institutions do not have Feb intake. They have a limited number of courses being offered in Feb for the postgraduate programs only. So the main intake happens to be September intake. Therefore, most of the students, they should be focusing on September intake admissions. If they are applying for undergraduate programs, if they are applying for foundation programs, again, September intake is the best intake. But some institutions have intensive foundation programs being offered in January and February as well. And if students are applying for postgraduate programs, again, all the postgraduate programs are being offered in September. And 50% of the institutions would offer postgraduate programs in Feb intake as well. So students should always take these things into consideration.
Okay. What should students expect in their first month abroad?
First month is for orientation. Students need to get used to everything. They should. My advice would be that if they're going to institutions, any good institutions would have different peer programs for the students and orientation programs as well. So students become part of the peer groups, and they're being given exposure to the city, life inside the city, culture of that particular city or that country as well. So cultural shock is something that obviously most students are going to confront when they're going to another country.
Yes.
Apart from cultural shock, yes, most of the students, if they're coming from South Asian backgrounds, they have strong family bondage. And in that particular case, I think they're going to have feeling of homesickness as well.
Yes. Do students have any opportunities to work part-time to support themselves? And if yes, then what are the most attractive opportunities for the students abroad?
Well, again, this question is being asked by most of our students. Part-time work allowed or not allowed? Now, most European countries, they do allow students to work part-time. Some countries would allow 20 hours part-time, others would allow 30 hours part-time as well. And during vacations, they can work full-time. So work opportunities are allowed, permitted, but my advice would be not to rely on work opportunities, especially for the tuition fees. Some students are planning to rely on part-time work or full-time work to support their studies as well. So part-time earning is never enough to pay for your tuition fees. Yes, you can cover your living expenses with that, but having said that, I think students should have a buffer period. When they're landing into the country, they shouldn't expect to find a job on the first day. I think they should have a buffer time of 3 to 6 months, and after 3 to 6 months, they should expect to cover their living expenses when they're fully oriented to the city, to the work environment, to different organizations. Regarding finding part-time work, students mostly these days in European countries are working in restaurants, they're working in sales. Apart from that, they are working even in call centers, and the most common profession these days for part-time work is the delivery jobs, which suit students as well.
So, what advice would you give to the parents that are sending their children abroad, particularly the South Asian parents?
Well, the advice would be, first of all, to start early. If they are starting early, it means the advantage of starting early is that the student does not become a gap year student. What I've seen in South Asia, and I've compared it with the Middle East because I've been working in both the markets for the last 2 years. If a student is applying for studies from the Middle East, they would apply early and they would not become gap year students, which means they are not wasting one complete academic year. Whereas in case of South Asia, most students, they would complete their degree, their 12th grade, their 13th year of study, and after that they would start applying for admission in different universities, and that makes them a gap year student. So my advice to the parents would be to plan early if they intend to send their child to study in international universities.
I agree with that. Do you think AI and online learning will reduce the need or the importance for studying abroad?
Well, AI, these days, everybody's talking about AI, and
Yes.
everybody thinks that AI is probably going to replace everything else.
Yes.
People think that, but personally, I've been speaking to AI experts as well, and I'm being told that AI would not replace everything, but AI is definitely going to replace those people who do not know AI.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
When you are talking about the online learning, I do not think it is going to fully replace the campus learning. We are moving towards a blended system of learning. This is what is going to happen, and this is what more and more universities are adopting these days. So we would have some activities on the campus, some learning on the campus, and people would be probably learning part of their education online as well. So there isn't going to be a complete replacement of the campus life by the online learning. There is going to be a blended kind of a system. This is what I can say.
So, do you see any more growth in hybrid or dual degree models?
Oh yes, more and more universities are moving towards these dual degree programs. And if I can give you example of again University of Debrecen, because I've given 14 years of my life to that institution.
Wow.
In University of Debrecen, there are transfer agreements with around 500 different universities, okay? And apart from that, they're working on dual degree programs as well. And more universities inside Europe, they're working on these dual degree programs. Recently, Budapest Business University has started dual degree programs. Apart from that, I mentioned Universum International College. They've got dual degree programs with 4 different countries inside European Union, and they are planning to add more and more countries in more and more programs as well. So yeah, this trend is becoming very popular, and more of our students are also asking for, it's again about demand and supply. So if there is demand for something, obviously market is going to make adjustments.
Yes.
And is going to provide that thing to the market. So there is more demand for dual degree programs. That's why we see really big growth in the market for and offerings of dual degree programs as well.
So, as the world is evolving, do you also see EduApply expand its horizon beyond admissions towards careers, networking, internships, or things like that?
Yes, definitely. If we do not evolve, we just die down, we disappear. This is what is going to happen. So the plan is to evolve the product further. EduApply is not going to be just an edtech platform. It is going to be a fintech platform as well in the future, and it is going to work on careers, it is going to work on student loans, and it is going to work on a number of other products as well.
Okay.
As I explained previously, that EduApply is going to be a complete ecosystem.
Okay.
It's not going to be just an edtech platform.
That's interesting. If a university is listening to us right now, what would you tell them? Why should they join EduApply?
Well, universities should join EduApply because EduApply is the future. EduApply is going to assist universities in realizing their internationalization goals. European Union has provided internationalization targets to universities across Europe, and universities are really struggling with achieving these goals. So EduApply has got these expertise to assist universities in realizing their internationalization goals. That's why they should come and join us.
So, what is the presence of EduApply in the global arena, and how do you plan to expand it? What is your vision about it?
EduApply currently we have got our offices located in UAE, Qatar, Oman, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. And we have ambitious goals of expanding our geographical presence and outreach to 35 different regions in the next 3 years.
That's right.
So when we are talking about the company EduApply is legally registered in UAE. We are a UAE-based company, and we have physical presence in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Qatar, Oman, and we are planning to open in Saudi Arabia in the next couple of months. The company has ambitious plans of expanding to 35 different regions in the next 3 years. This is another reason why universities should be joining EduApply, because we would provide them with outreach to 35 different regions in the next 3 years, which would help them realize their goals of internationalization.
Mr. Asghar, one last thing. If you could describe EduApply mission in one line, what would it be?
EduApply's mission in one line would be making European education accessible to everyone at very affordable cost.
Thank you, Mr. Asghar, for being here and sharing these insights with us. To all our listeners and viewers, whether you are a student looking to study abroad, whether you are an agent looking to support their students better, or whether you are an institution looking for global talent, EduApply can help you connect and succeed. So please visit eduapply.com to learn more. And if you found this content helpful, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you.